Hi, welcome back to my channel Tea Time with Peace and Joy. My name is Doris, and last time we talked about forgiving and why do we have to forgive and what are the benefits. And today we are going to talk about the steps of forgiving. So if you haven't seen the last video, you can go back and watch it. I'll have the link up there. And so first of all, I'm going to share with you the steps of forgiving, and then I'm going to give you some tips. So the first step of forgiving is to understand why we have to forgive, like what are the benefits. And so if you've seen the last video, you know what the benefits are already, so you're done with the first step. If you haven't seen it, you can go and watch it now. And second step is to analyze your feelings and your situation, but you have to pay attention. Don't do it when you are really upset or when you are really negative, because at that time when you are really depressed, you can't think straight, and that is not the best moment to really think through things, right? But if you are in a better mood, or you feel like I'm more calm now, I can do that, then maybe it's time for you to think about it. And number three, to decide if you want to forgive or not. So that is the third step. So last time we talked about you don't have to forgive, right? That is your decision. And in some situations, it may be harder to forgive. For example, people encounter like sexual violence or physical abuse, emotional abuse. That may be harder to forgive, and you may feel like, if I don't care about it, like if I don't think about it, it may be easier for me to handle, at least at this moment. In the long run, you may want to put it down, like you want to let go, right? Because you don't want it to eat you up. But then at that moment, if you are not ready, you don't have to. So that is still your decision. So lastly, when you decide, I want to forgive the other party, what can you do? And that's at that time you are freeing yourself from that trap that you're in, and also you free yourself from the power of the other party. Once you forgive them, you don't have to tell them, and you don't have to be friend with them or contact them, but at the same time you free yourself from their power, and that is important. And that is why sometimes we want to forgive. And so you can either try to write them something, like write a letter, call them, text them to tell them that you forgive them. Use your own way of telling them. But a lot of times you may not have that contact, or you may not have the courage to talk to them yet, and that is okay. That's totally fine. You don't have to go to do that, and you can deep down in yourself, like tell yourself, I decide to forgive. So that is a promise to yourself. And or if you want other friends to know about it, it's helpful to talk to friends about it as well. It's not easy to forgive sometimes, so I'm going to give you some tips now. First of all, you can try to change your perspective on seeing the situation. You may try to look at the situation from the other party's perspective. Maybe you can find a new angle or get some insight about what had happened, and that may help you to forgive. And second, you can try to remember if you had been forgiven in the past, and that may help to give you more motivation to forgive others. So for example, like if I've done something pretty big, like some big mistakes, and was I forgiven, and how did that make me feel? All that things may help you to forgive others. And number three, if you haven't decided yet if you want to forgive, you can actually write down on a journal, on a piece of paper, what you thing happened, the whole situation, the whole process of what had happened. And you can also write down the reasons to forgive and to not forgive, right? And then you can decide. That will help you to make the decision. And also you can always like pray, right? And talk to people, and that will be really helpful as well. But when you talk to people, make sure that you talk to someone who's not too negative. If they are emotionally not too stable, or they're too negative, it may not be a good thing, because they may not listen to your reasons, but they, in their mentality is nothing can be done, everything is bad. So you may not want to talk to those people, because you may be affected. But if you can talk to someone who's more mature, or if you go to church, like someone who's more spiritually mature even, that may be helpful. Okay, number 4, to forgive is not a one-time thing. It's not like today I decide at this moment I'm going to forgive and then done, boom. It's not like that. Even if you have told the other person you forgive them, your emotions may come back, right? You may be angry again when you think about certain things, and that is normal, and that is okay actually. It's just not the end of it. It's a process, and there may be ups and downs, while you're trying to forgive, but it is okay, because eventually you're moving to that direction, and eventually you can let go. But remember, it's a process. And okay, if you really want to forgive, but you feel like it's really difficult, I can't really do it, I don't have the power to do it, you can try to pray, ask for God's help. Remember, if you are familiar with the 10 Commandments, right? We are not supposed to lie, for example. That's the one that we do all the time, unconsciously sometimes even. So sometimes we have all those sins that we have every single day, but yet God forgives us every single day as well, right? So when God can forgive us, maybe we can get some power from Him to forgive others. So you may try that as well. We talked about last time that when you forgive them, it doesn't mean that they are right and you're wrong. It's not like that at all. Although they did something wrong, it doesn't mean that we cannot forgive them. And so I really want to share a Bible verse with you, and it's in Ephesians 4:32. It said, "Be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other, just as in Christ God has forgiven you." So I hope this Bible verse can help you, and I hope this episode helped you as well. So if you like the content, give me a thumbs up, share with your friends if you find it helpful, and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so then you will get our notification when we upload the next time. I'll see you next time. Bye.